Back in 2001, as I was visiting my ancestral land, I was lucky enough to be with my brother-in-law who knew this mountain well. He took me up this mountain to show me one of the undiscovered ruins of the Assyrian Empire. I fell in love with this mountaintop. For years, I visited this mountain that is high above the ancient town of Akre in northern Iraq. Fire burns here every spring, thousands of torches climbing into the night during Kurdish Nowruz. Everyone sees a celebration, but I began to see something else.
Beneath the modern festival, carved into the living rock of this mountain, I found evidence of something far older: a sanctuary, water basins, fire-blackened caves, architectural signs that matches the great builder king of Assyria, Sennacharib.
This is Akre Qal'a, the fire mountain. And what I am about to show you may be one of the last undiscovered royal sanctuaries of the Assyrian Empire.
And finally, I'm here.
Before I show you what I found, you need to understand who Sennacharib was. He ruled the Assyrian Empire from 705 to 681 BC, an empire stretching from Egypt to Persia. History remembers him as a military strategist, but I studied his inscriptions for decades, and his true genius was engineering.
He transformed Nineveh into the world's most advanced city at the time. He carved massive aqueducts through mountains. In his cuneiform text, he reveals a passion for mountains and hills, ritual fires, his duties to the god, order over chaos. But his main passion was water.
Sennacharib established sanctuaries across his empire hilltops, places where heaven and earth met, where kings as himself could speak with the gods. And I believe one of these sanctuaries is here, on this mountain. Let me take you up this mountain. At first, the trail winds through modern houses, but then, watch carefully, the stone changes. This entrance stopped me in my tracks. Look at this arch. These aren't natural formations. These are deliberate cuts, precise angles. The tool marks matches Assyrian era tools. I've seen them at confirmed sites like Bavian and Maltai. And here, a staircase descending into the mountain. The uniformity of these cuts, the deliberate spacing, I knew I was looking at a ritual style, a sacred descent. But this is what convinced me. This rectangular basin carved into the hilltop. When I first saw it, I thought maybe industrial, but something bothered me. There are no outflow channels, no spouts, no surrounding pools for collecting pressed liquids. Instead, there is a central raised platform, a seat. This wasn't designed for production.
This isn't the work of some local villagers. This requires government organizations, designs, strategy, planning, task management, royal authority, wealth and major funding, and skilled craftsmen.
And then I remember Faida. Faida is a confirmed Sennacharib site 25 miles from here, authenticated by the Iraqi archaeologists. Look at these photographs from their documentation. When you find an architectural twins, a match, separated by 25 miles, both on a mountain hilltop, both in Sennacharib's territory, you're not looking at a coincidence. You're looking at the same builder, the same period, the same sacred purpose.
The basins are nearly identical. Same proportions, same central seat, same square holes, same mountain summit location. This isn't similarities. This is a signature of a great king, Sennacharib.
But nothing prepared me for this discovery. A cave whose entrance was deliberately shaped to resemble an eagle's head. Look at it. The curved beak, the eye-like opening, the avian silhouette. This is intentional carving.
In the old Assyrian religion, we find these divine beings called Apkalus. They were the wise mystical sages with eagle heads. They were supernatural guardians of the kings, purifier of places, and the protectors from evil spirits. In the Assyrian arts, you see them in a sacred form carved on these palace walls.
Now look at this comparison. The cave entrance next to the standard Apkallu relief. The similarities are unmistakable. And when I stepped inside, I found another proof of Nusku's ritual. These walls are blackened, not uniformly, but in a specific pattern. Soot from ritual fires continued over centuries. You can see where the flames were consistently placed. And here, when you look up, a deliberately carved smoke vent. The smoke from the sacred fires would rise through this opening. And there believes the smoke was carrying prayers to the heavens. This cave wasn't a shelter, it was a temple, a fire temple.
Again, if you go back to the Assyrian rituals, we find Nusku, who was a deity of divine fire, who illuminates darkness, purifier of temples. Nusku, who carried prayers to the gods.
Both visuals are physical evidence, substantiate that this mountaintop was part of Sennacharib's work. Just less than a mile away from here, you'll find Sipa Falls. Sennacharib knew about this waterfall. His surveyors mapped every spring, every stream in this region. Sennacharib's genius was hydraulic engineering. He understood water flow, how to capture mountain water at its source. The basins here were not randomly placed. I believe they were designed to collect water from the adjacent mountain.
Look closely at these channels. They're carved precisely between the two mountains. Sennacharib's engineer cut directly into the bedrock to move water. Cuneiform inscriptions and other excavated sites confirms these clay pipes laid inside these trenches were the signature of his water system. The Sipa Fault is less than a mile away. Sennacharib's engineers knew exactly where the water comes from. So they built this channel to interrupt it before it fell, redirecting it up the mountain to feed his reservoirs and his sacred pools above. These metal sheds, these are actually wells. And there's a bunch of them. These wells are very deep, but they look like almost like a cave. Because usually a well is straight down, but these, as you go in, it's like wider on the inside than outside. They were bringing water all the way up.
Water and fire. These were the two divine elements Sennacharib combined in his mountain sanctuaries. Pure water for purification and irrigation, sacred fire for prayers. Together, they create a commanding site where kings could connect with the divine. Even the name may preserve its meaning. Akre, Akra. Locals say it comes from the Kurdish word for fire, Agur. In Akkadian, Sennacharib's language, A means water, and Kar means harbor, basin, water collecting place. Akar means water harbor. When you stand here surrounded by carved water basins, the ancient name suddenly makes perfect sense. I want you to understand the ambition required. Thousands of tons of limestone carved away, precise angles cut into mountain rock, all by hand with bronze and iron tools
In the 7th century BC.
This requires more than tools. It requires organization, skilled craftsmen, surveyors, engineers, hundreds of workers, and most importantly, a powerful leader who can organize all these resources. This isn't tribal work, this is royal, this is imperial. This is what happens when a king like Sennacharib decides to create a place where he can collect water and speak with the gods.
Even the location is perfect. From Akre Qal'a, you can see for miles. I stood here at dawn and I watched the sun illuminates strategic locations and roads for maximum defense position.
This mountain wasn't just holy, it was strategic, military, administrative, religious, all in one place. And here what moves me the most. The fire still burns. Every spring, during Kurdish Nowruz, thousands climb this mountain with torches blazing. The mountain glows with flames. Smoke rises into the night sky. The modern celebration is distinctly Kurdish, but the ritual customs remains. Fire on the sacred mountain, nighttime ascent, public gathering.
When a fire ritual continues at a specific location across thousands of years, it's rarely a coincidence. Sacred mountain rituals retain their character. The fire on Akre Qal'a may have changed hands, changed meanings, changed languages. It may even have stopped for a while under different circumstances, but it never went out.
From Sennacharib's rituals to Kurdish Nowruz in the 21st century CE, That's 2,700 years of continuous fire ritual on this mountain. Today, Akre Qal'a remains largely unexcavated. No survey has been funded yet. No cuneiform inscriptions have been found yet. But the evidence is here. The carved basins matching confirmed Sennacharib sites, the Apkallu Eagle Head Cave, the fire-blackened ritual, the strategic position, the scale of royal ambition carved into stone.
I've spent years studying this site, and I truly believe that we're looking at an Assyrian ruins. This is Sennacharib's lost fire sanctuary.
The great Assyrian king Sennacharib's fire mountain, still here, still burning, waiting for the world to embrace.